G'day, it's Sunday the 6th of August, looking at Coty and my thoughts on it. There's a few people out there that might be interested, so let's put that into a discussion. Coty has a prevailing trend line that hasn't been really broken yet, unlike the other alts. And using my Fibonacci methodology, there's a lot of confluence that this level here could be the bottom, which is this level and potentially further down. We have got the weekly support and confluence here, so there might be a bit of sideways motion before we get that dump. Just using my methodology, I'm not going into how I do that, but if this is a 618 reverse engineering, the zeros here at this level, and it's also ideally with that as well on the weekly. We've got liquidity just below here from the previous bull run, so there could be, if there's a massive dump, you'll be smart to put some orders there and buy it out, but it might not reach there. So I am looking for a good opportunity. There's nothing here yet. From a Wyckoff perspective, this seemed to be a selling climax. We've got an automatic response, and you can see it's not a Wyckoff structure because the up thrust didn't go nowhere and we dropped below, taking up this liquidity. And if it keeps going up and then breaks above it, then I will go for the trade. So this is my 618 level, acting as resistance. That was the previous neckline, so this is a strong resistance, and I just placed the 618 there. There is a chance that this could be the initial stages of a Wyckoff accumulation, where we get this buying selling climax, and then we get this automatic rally, and then we get this type of scenario with accumulation. So Coty, I don't think is still there, and I'm just saying what I can potentially see, but at the moment there is nothing there to be seen. Looking from my indicator perspective, let's have a look at that. So this is the 3-day chart. Do I have any indicators? Let's just chuck in a template. See the moving averages, see what it does there. Okay, so those moving averages, there's still key moving averages of 200, and we've got the Wyckoff, we've got the 80 wave count. Not interested at that moment. Actually, let's see what that does. Okay, so it's assuming that that's 4 and 5 could still, that is 5, but it could actually be further down, and we'll look at that as well. These are the main moving averages. That's a 21 weekly. Sorry, 21. Yep, weekly. SMA and EMA. Why would you go bullish until you break those? So this was a wave 4, wave 3 to 4. Yep, sideways. And now if we were to apply the similar approach, making that, then we 61. So yep, 414 to 1.61 618. That is a good area from that perspective as well. Again, I would definitely average in there. So if you see that come down there, makes sense. That is a good one. This one here is made an assumption that that is the one. In actual fact, we can do that. Golden ratio there. The one sort of fits there perfectly. So 1.414 and the 1.616 is there. And again, that is a good range. So again, that's what we're looking at. Let's look at other charts. Let's say if it doesn't, no, it doesn't do it for some reason. Slow. Let's do the RSI. See what the RSI is doing, and the wave trend, and one more, Phoenix. Let's see what these guys are telling us. Definitely on the 3-day there is a bit of bullish divergence, but it's not there yet. If I was to trade this, that is, to me, that is the main resistance. there is a bit of bullish divergence, and maybe that was played out with that candle there. This is telling us that there is downward pressure at the moment. Get rid of the crossovers. Do we see anything that could help us from this trading perspective? Yeah, let's put that line there. That could represent this. From the Phoenix, all the RSIs are below it, below the 50%, so there is nothing bullish about it on the 3-day. And if we're to look on the weekly, again, the weekly is nowhere there. Yeah, a bit of bullish divergence that played out. That was a selling climax right there. Let's just get rid of all these. Becomes messy a bit. I'll leave that one there. So from a weekly perspective, look at that. Rejection candle. So there's downward pressure. That was a downward candle. A response. End of today, pretty much Sunday, it's going to close bearish. From here, I would say that from a weekly perspective, I'd like to see that broken, that trend line. From an RSI perspective, not there yet. It's probably going to get a rejection and then come down. The RSI is really not going to help us much, but that's what we have at the moment. The wave trend, we had a bearish divergence here and the crossover, pretty much. The crossover was right there, which pretty much gives us a exit or short. So once these guys cross over, perfect shorting position, and you can see what that entailed. So wave trend is significant, but it's a matter of context. And the Phoenix is all below 50%, still pretty bearish from a weekly perspective as well. So the indicators also support that we're bearish. There's nothing bullish about this at the moment. So there we go. So I'm going to leave it at that. There's not much to say except that I think we should be patient and look for next lows before buying it. Otherwise, we'll look for the 618 level to break. So we want to see this level break. You can start accumulating if you want, but it's a good strong level actually, because that is a weekly level. So we have the weekly candle here, weekly level, and that was the entry there on the weekly, but too late now. So if we look on the 4 hour, okay, there we go. So we had our, you can see this, look at that. That is a rising wedge, and you can tell it's bearish because it's overlapping. We've got that, and look at that. That was a surprise, so that would have been a bit of a surprise trade. I would have thought it would come down like that. Come on, baby. There we go. So that was a selling climax that was worth entering, but that's a hard one. This was a surprise, so that was the next entry. I wouldn't expect that. And look at that big massive rejection, so I wouldn't look for anything. There's nothing really set up here for a trade, but you can tell that there was a grind. This was a grind, and if you follow my YouTube stuff, you will see that I often talk about this kind of grind line, and this is a bump and run type of strategy, but there's a broadening wedge and then a drop. That would have been a good entry actually. Let's see what that would have been. I'm not watching it, so that was a 21%. Beautiful. There's liquidity that it took out from here. That was a nice setup. That would have been an entry. Then we've got a second swing failure pattern. So first, then second swing failure pattern, and bang, straight up. That would have been a good trade. Some stuff that I like to look at and learn from it. So that was a reversal pattern on the bottom with these liquidity So this is a 4 hour, that would have been nice. So I'm going to snapshot this for later on reference for my online training. These are the things that you look for if you're tentative with details, swing failure patterns, looking for liquidity. And the liquidity on this one, because we've got this buying climax, selling climax, the next level of liquidity would have been here underneath these wicks. So definitely that would have been targeted, and we saw that. Yep, that would have been a liquidity, and these wicks just pretty much took out those stop losses and then went up. You won't expect that kind of move, but that's what took place, and it took out all the stop losses, all the shorts. It's a short squeeze at the end of the day. Stop losses here, stop losses there. So it took all them out and all that as well. So the whales pretty much said, okay, here we go. Take them out, take them out, take them out, and then dump. Beautiful. So got to be aware of that kind of strategy. And there you go. And now they filled it up. They got what they do. From there to there, they made 34%. Far out. That was a really nice move. I wish I was watching it. That's it, guys. So there's some tips here as I explain. I do feel like this will come down further. There is a slight chance that we get this ever so W type of formation for the next trade. So I'll be looking for lower, taking this out, liquidity. So I like to see it come down, and then I will look for the response. And if it's a good response, I'll enter the trade. That's it, guys. That's all I got. Please give me a like and share. Talk to you soon. Cheers.